Okay, now we're going to look at the sine law, which relates the sides and angles of triangles and allows you to find a multitude of properties within a triangle. First, the sine law states that in any triangle, the ratio of the length of a side to the sine of its opposite angle is the same for all three sides. Essentially, if you look at these equations here, you will see that the ratios of the side lengths to their angles are the same throughout the triangle. Now, to be able to use the sine rule, you either need to know two angles and one side, or two sides and one angle, as you can see right here with these two plot points. And if you lack one of these properties, if you don't have a side or don't have an angle, then you don't have enough values to solve your equation because there's more than one variable, which makes it unsolvable. Here is now an example of a sine law question that'll help you get used to the rule since it does look a little bit bizarre. Okay, what we're being asked is to find the side length B when we have the value of side length A, the value of angle A, and then the value of angle B. All this really requires is plugging these numbers into the equation here, which would give you 10 over sine 45 is equivalent to B over sine 60. Okay, to solve this, first I'm going to look at sine 45. Using your unit circle, you'll see that sine of 45 is equivalent to root 2 over 2. So simplified, it's 10 divided by root 2 over 2, which is 10 over 2, as you can see here. And then you have this equal to b over sine of 60. And again, using those 30, 60, 90 triangle or the unit circle, you'll see that sine of 60 is root 3 over 2. So now you have 10 root 2 is equivalent to b divided by root 3 over 2. And so what you do is you're going to divide this side of the equation over here by root 3 over 2. Multiply this side of the equation by root 3 over 2, ergo multiplying 10 root 2 by root 3 over 2, as you can see here, which simplified would give you 5 root 6, and therefore 5 root 6 is equivalent to b, and that would be your side length b. Essentially what you're doing is you're using algebra to isolate your target, in this case the side length b, and then you would simplify the real numbers you have to achieve the value. Next are some questions for you to try on your own, and they're going to be pretty similar to this one. Okay, here are the sine rule questions that I've provided, and then on the next slide, as usual, I will go over them. Okay, so for the very first question, I ask you guys to find the side length of A, given that the angle A is 30 degrees, the angle B is 135 degrees, and then the side length B is 12 centimeters. So first, you have to set up the problem the way the equation gave us. So B over sine B is equivalent to A over sine A. So 12 centimeters divided by sine of 135 is equivalent to A divided by sine of 30. And the very first thing I did in this was simplify sine of 135 using the obtuse trigonometric equations that we had. So sine of 135 is equivalent to sine of 180 minus 135, which is equivalent to sine of 45 here, which is equivalent to root 2 over 2 using the unit circle. Now that we have this, we have 12 divided by 2 root 2 over 2, which is going to give us 12 root 2 is equivalent to A divided by sine of 30. Now sine of 30 is 1/2, so all we really have to do from there is we have to multiply 12 root 2 by 1/2, which would give us 6 root 2 centimeters as the value for the side length A. Okay, for question 2, we were asked to find the value of sine of A in the triangle ABC, where the external angle C is 3 pi over 4, A is equivalent to 10 feet, and C is equivalent to 14 feet. Just for a little bit of context, an external angle is not, well, obviously it's not the internal angle, but if I have these two angles, here and here, and they both represent something, this is an acute angle that we can use for triangles. This is an obtuse angle that we won't use. The external angle is this one right here, and because this is a straight line, they both add up to 180. So if the external angle is 3 pi over 4, which we know we can convert to degrees using our special equation, then if you subtract 180 by 3 pi over 4 and whatever degrees that it is, that's going to give you the angle, the internal angle that we're supposed to use. So for this, I subtracted 180 by 135, which would give us 45. So 45 degrees is going to be the angle, the internal angle. So now we know that we have 10 feet divided by sine of A, which is what we want to find, is equivalent to 14 feet divided by sine of 45 degrees. And then using the unit circle, that's going to give us 10 feet over sine of A is equivalent to 14 divided by root 2 over 2. And when you rearrange everything, you would multiply by sine of A. You want to get it isolated on the other side. And then you would multiply sine of 45 back over to the other side, not where sine A is, and then divide by 14, as you can see here. And then that's going to give you 10 times root 2 over 2 divided by 14 equals sine A, which is also 5 root 2 divided by 14. As you can see with each question, it's getting a little bit harder and a little bit more complicated. So for the next question, we were asked to find the angle C, and you have to use a calculator to calculate this, given that angle B is 35, B is 9 centimeters, and then C is 12 centimeters. And the reason you need a calculator is because I didn't give you an easy angle to calculate this with, which makes solving arcsine impossible without a calculator. Anyway, to solve this question, first thing I did was I set up the equation as it's shown, plugging in the values, having 9 centimeters over sine of 35 is equal to 12 centimeters over sine of C. Then I decided to find the value for everything. So first I did sine of 35 is equivalent to 0.574. Again, you have to use a calculator because it's very strange numbers. So then you have 9 divided by 0.574, which is going to give you 15.679. As your value for the left side. And then you still have 12 centimeters divided by sine of C. So by rearranging everything, because right now it's 15.679 is equivalent to 12 divided by sine of C. What I did is I moved sine of C over by multiplication and then divided by 15. So that I have the equation sine of C is equivalent to 12 divided by 15.679, and then using a calculator to solve this, you will get 0.765 equals sine of C. And then once again, you need to move just the sine over for once, so that you can get the actual angle of C. And by taking the arcsine of 0.765 from before, you're going to get C, which is 49.9 degrees. Okay, finally, now we're on to question 4, which is the very last question of these sine rule examples. I know there was a lot. So I asked you to find the length of B and C given the angle A equals 30, angle B equals 60, and A equals 4 inches. So the first thing that you need to notice is that this is actually a right triangle. When you're given 30 and 60, you already know automatically that it's going to be a 30, 60, 90 triangle because all the angles inside of a triangle add up to 180, and 180 minus 30 and minus 60 is 90. And because of this, we can use the sine rule and then Pythagoras to calculate B and then C. So what I'm going to do now is, first with the sine rule, I'm going to set it to 4 over sine of 30 is equivalent to B over sine of 60. And then through simplification, I'm not going to do it because I've already showed you a lot of math with the sine rule. You're going to get 4 is equivalent to 4 root 3 inches. And then by using Pythagoras' theorem, you can set the whole thing equal to the hypotenuse squared. As I showed you before, a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find c. So for this, that would be 4 squared plus 4 root 3 squared is going to be equivalent to c squared, which mathematically, if you solve it all out, is going to give you c equals 8 inches. And so that's a faster way to do this problem without having to do the sine rule again a second time to find the answer c. Okay, just to recap the sine rule finally, it works on any triangle, not just right triangles. That's definitely something to consider. And it only works when you know 2 angles in one side or 2 sides in one angle. Additionally, using inverse sine is necessary for solving angles with the sine rule. So knowing what inverse sine, otherwise known as arc sine, is really important. And then finally, recognizing right triangles as it was in the very last question, lets you combine the sine rule with Pythagorean theorem, shortening your solutions. So always just be on the lookout for like trip up questions that you can solve more quickly, like the very last one.